kind of muscles you have? No. Bro, what kind of patterns you have? Or is it just aesthetics?
Hello everybody, welcome back to Training Every Single Day. On this channel I often do not talk about like my personal goals, what I try to achieve with my training, but in the short term I really want to play around and really develop my own style of movement, see what kind of new movements I can do, what kind of new styles and patterns of movements I can develop with my newfound strength and newfound coordination. For example, I'm really working with this crawling technique and developing with fortifying the shoulders' rotational ability, challenging the rotator cuffs and the wrist with this kind of push-up on the back of the wrist and using only the rotation of the shoulders instead of the chest as well, and to develop a lot more of the bridge. And the bridge is one of those long-term movements. I really would like to have it very nice where I can eventually go from a bridge into a hollow back handstand and get to a very deep and very almost like a reversed planche where I'm very parallel to the ground, very leaned over. This is a German hang that also is developing some of that shoulder mobility, kind of replacing the shoulder jump rope in a way. But for you, it really challenges at your own level. You have to have some amount of mobility to grab behind it and grab yourself, but if you can hold yourself in this position, it will kind of adapt to your level if you're able to do so. Now, why do I train a lot of the time and spend so much time training? It's because the most basic reason is because I can, and I really, you have to. You have to move. You spend a lot of time moving, and I have just kind of done it for so long. It's just kind of a part of who I am nowadays. It gives me a lot of confidence just in the ability that I can move freely, and I know that I spend enough time developing my movement that I'm confident to be in any situation, because at the very basic level, I physically can be there, I can hold my posture against gravity, and that gives me some amount of confidence in no matter what it is. Also, my developing the ability of breathing. I spend a lot of time developing breath work, as well as using breath work to regulate your alertness level, as well as emotions, and to the basic respiratory abilities to stay energized and to not feel that burning sensation in your lungs so much. In the long term, I really want to develop better flips. At least the back flip is the minimum. I just want to get a nice back flip and then progress from there naturally, not spending too much energy on that. But in the short term, I'm really trying to develop some movement abilities, the crawling pattern, the bridge pattern, the integration of crawling and the bridge. I do want to have some very clean handstands, but those movement patterns aren't often, my handstands are already really good. Enough for what I need to do. I don't think I really need to be doing hand hops. I can do presses from low to the ground. I can press off of high surfaces. So further developing it is a lot less reward compared to the effort than putting into it. There's diminishing returns. I'd rather have some very good movement patterns like the flare, just to have like the jack of all trades kind of idea, where I can do multiple flares, I can hold a good handstand, I can do a few flips. In breakdancing, you'd call that universal. Not quite the same idea. In breakdancing, universal b-boy would be that I could do all the levels of breakdancing pretty well, like the top rock, the footwork, the power moves, and the freezes. Being able to do all of them at a proficient level would be universal. And I'd like to be a universal man in pretty much any context of, they have the universal man as well in, the Renaissance idea, or someone who would be proficient in multiple skills, being a polymath is the word I was looking for, where you'd be proficient at multiple skills and able to provide some amount of work in all of them. But I want to be the movement polymath that I can, use the upper body, the lower body, coordination, integration of flips, of strength in the upper body, and overall the long-term goal of the training, like throughout my life, is just to keep all my joints, all my tendons resilient, have excellent mobility. And mobility, in a way, trains the joints and the tendons because it often puts them all through good ranges of motion, and you have to use load. Mobility training and joint training are very similar, and they can be one and the same. And that's the way I like to do it. When I put a lot of strength through load on the joints and all the positions, really to develop the muscles. Like here, this is a good way to challenge the hips. It's similar to the couch stretch that Ben Patrick, the knees over toes guy, really recommends, and I also recommend doing it. I'm really trying to develop the front hips in a sort of way. I don't really have an understanding of how to use the hips like this, but I do have an understanding of how to strengthen them and how to develop the mobility there, though I'm not sure how I'd be using it in movement, but it's better to have it strengthened than to do nothing at all, I guess. So I spend a good amount of time with consistently training those aspects. Consistency is much more effective than intensity when it comes to training. Unfortunately, when it comes to the splits, it takes a little bit of time I haven't done the splits in quite a while, so the splits wasn't really there today like it was when I was hitting it every single day for quite a while. I just kind of lost interest and started developing movement style, integration of different movement patterns, and developing my own movements and my own integrations. So if you made it this far in the video, please leave a like, please comment, please subscribe, and follow my Instagram in the description. That's the best way to support the channel. It's free. You can also leave a super like, or you can call me with the Connect With Me number at the bottom, $1 per minute. Or if you really want to have me help you save some time in your training, if you're a beginner or advanced and you don't have any injuries, that's very important. I don't have any injuries. Do not have injuries. Book a coaching call with me, and I will help you save some time, get to your goals, help you define your own goals, and how to get there. So I'd like to say thanks for watching. Thanks for taking the time to watch the video, and for moving and improving, and for spreading that movement and health to the people around you, and watch that health ripple out society. Bye-bye.